Hello and welcome to episode 59 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel, as it is Pride FC's American Bushido 11. I don't know why I was scrolling on the rings fucking show, as the Pride FC American Bushido 11 card is stacked, as you all saw at the end of the episode, the previous episode, episode 58, as, my god, there's some bangers on this fucking card. Only one piece of mail is we extended Jesuk Lim, so that was exciting stuff. Let's get to the fucking... I can't wait. This show's nuts. Nuts. It's almost to the point where we get to update all the graphics and stuff, because we're at 2006. We're getting close. So we see our jam-packed main event. The Iceman, Chuck Liddell, taking on Big Nog. Nate Marcotte, Dan Henderson in the co-main. We got Alan Goes and Frank Shamrock. Pat Healy and Joe Hurley making their Pride FC debuts. Keith Jardine, Quentin Rampage Jackson. What a fucking fight that will be. Carlos Newton taking on Joe Scarlo, as then the two prelim fights, which we'll get into when we flip it to that side, as we have obviously the overview. It's always fun. We never really go through that though, because it's not really necessary. Is making his 9th defense of the Pride Heavyweight title. If he's successful, of course, it's a record. Antonio, Minotaur, Rodrigo, Noguera taking on Chuck the Iceman Liddell. Two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. We got Big Nog, of course, number 1, and Chuck Liddell, number 5, the former Pride Middleweight champion of the world. This is both their 9th time main eventing a Pride event. Liddell trains the Pit, which Noguera has an overall record of 1-0 against other members of that team. Noguera has won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision. This is going to be the first time they have fought, of course, as the Dream. You know, we had Vanderlei take on Big Nog, in which Big Nog beat him. Now we have here Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell has the slight advantage, according to the Blurcat staff. It is 4-3. Unreal. That would be wild if Chuck does beat him here, as he'll obviously be the first time in Pride FC to be a heavyweight champion and a Pride middleweight champion. That would be insane. That'd be a lot of fun to see. This is just going to be awesome. I'm excited to see that main event. Both guys can really do, standing on the ground. Obviously, I think I'd give the advantage to Big Nog on the ground, as he's, per se, black belt, but we'll see what happens on that main event. It's going to be nuts. As Nate the Great Marcotte taking on Dan Hendo Henderson. As again, two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, as Henderson is ranked 11th. Nate Marcotte is 19th, which is awesome seeing Nate Marcotte ranked as, in the top 25 of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. As Dan Henderson, 7-0 on the Blurcat stat picks. Really nothing much to say as far as the stats goes, but this is going to be a hell of a fight. Dan Henderson, obviously another man who has done some great success here in Pride FC, a former Pride Middleweight champion, beat Chuck Liddell way back when, knocked out Vanderlei Silva in 40 seconds at American Bushido 6. He's had some success, had a lot of success actually, the American Bushido cards. He has not lost in America, which is awesome. That's kind of the idea of a man who represented his country, fighting in the, well, I wouldn't say fighting, competing in the Olympics, as awesome stuff. Awesome fucking stuff there, that he is 2-0 in American Bushido cards. He's lost 2 straight though. He lost to Frank Shamrock, then he lost to Anderson Silva back in September in a unanimous decision loss. Really, his last, at least, as official, getting finished in a fight was the TKO to Ice Cold Eagle right at the Pride FC Shockwave 2003 show. I mean, he's Dan Hendo Henderson. What can you say? He's a fucking problem out there. Nate Marcotte, a 16-5, 7-3 in Pride FC. He's coming off a win against Lee Murray. Both guys have lost to Anderson Silva, so that's nice. But Nate Marcotte got knocked out by Chuck Liddell, whereas Dan Henderson won. He also got knocked out by Vanderlei Silva, so that's another man that also Dan Henderson. But he also lost to Vanderlei too, so they're still 1-1. Maybe we'll do the trilogy fight down the line. Who knows? As Pat Bam Bam Healy taking on Joe Hurley. As Healy has won all of his last 5 fights by decision. They're top 10 lightweights in Pride FC, as Joe Hurley's 9th, Pat Healy's 10th. Joe Hurley has won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision, so both obviously being in the smaller weight class, both guys really can't really finish a fight. Don't want to throw them under the bus, but usually that's the case for a lot of well, not all the time though. There's some guys, I feel like Connor and BJ Penn was a guy who didn't really like going the distance a whole lot. As both fighters are making their Pride FC debut, Pat Healy is having the advantage 7-0 over Joe Hurley, so that's not a good sign for Joe. As the Allen goes, taking on Frank Shamrock. Back in a Pancrase prelim, Eyes of the Beast 4 in 1995, they had a majority draw. They are both world-ranked light heavyweights, as Allen goes is 12th, Frank Shamrock's 14th. That's wild. Allen goes is ranked ahead of him. As Frank Shamrock trains at the Lions Den, which Allen goes has an overall record of 1-0 against other current members of that team. Allen goes 1-3 of his last 5 fights by decision. I mean, this should be an easy fight for Frank Shamrock, but you never know, though. I mean, look at Allen goes on a fight win streak. He lost a lot in Pride FC the first time around. He did beat Quentin the first time. That was really his one. Well, he did beat Guy Metzger too. His 2 wins before he left, because we let him go. Wins 4 straight in rings. We sign him back. He beats Quentin Rampage Jackson again, this time by armbar. Now he's got a big-time fight here against Frank Shamrock, where Frank has had a bit of a tough go as of late in Pride FC. He's lost 2 straight to Chuck Liddell, Ron Fairclough, but he did beat Dan Anderson. So you have that going for him. But he's also, it's awesome how the middleweight division has been such a intertwined thing, as he's also beaten Anderson Silva too. I mean, he's lost to Vanderlei, but he's beaten Anderson. He's beaten Dan Henderson. And he lost to Chuck Liddell. It's just kind of wild. All the big names have really fought each other, and I think that's a testament to those guys that they'll fight anybody. It's pretty awesome. No one's ducking anybody. As that works out well for our middleweight division. Now, speaking of the middleweights, these are 2 bad motherfuckers right here. As the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, taking on Quentin Rampage Jackson. As Keith Jardine has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. Jardine trains at the Pit, which Jackson has a record of 1-1 against other current members of that team. They're both top, and not really top ranked. 17th ranked is Keith Jardine, and Quentin Rampage Jackson is 20th in Pride FC. Quentin Rampage Jackson, he's a guy. His record might not look impressive, but there for a hot minute, he fucking won the fucking middleweight Grand Prix. Loses to Chuck Liddell. Actually, it might have been it was, because he beat Rich Franklin and Murley in F1 a Conflict. Then he beat Azatsu Yano at Total Elimination. So yeah, he won the middleweight Grand Prix. Loses to Chuck. Beats Ron Fairclough though. Then he has the draw with Anderson. Then he loses to Anderson, as he just lost to Allen Goes, as you saw there with the submission, lost by armbar. So he's looking to bounce back. But as a dangerous man, and then the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, has lost 2 split decisions back to back. So that's all of his losses has been split decision. That is heartbreaking as a fighter. I can only imagine nothing worse. He was on a great little streak there when he was kind of beating tomato cans, as he was getting first round TKOs, and then the poor fight, then the decent fight against Tim Kennedy. It's They fought, I forget what UFC card it was where they fought in the main event, and Quentin won. But it's just kind of fun we get to do this here in Pride FC, as it's not even like a big marquee fight. It's just down here on like the main card, but towards the bottom, Ronan Carlos Newton, the former Pride FC welterweight champion of the world, taking on Joe Scarlo, as Joe has submitted 3 of his last 5 opponents. Carlos Newton is the 6th ranked welterweight in Pride, whereas Joe is 15th. That's a big disadvantage there. First time they have fought, and Newton's going to have a significant weight advantage, so there's another disadvantage going Joe's way, as he's making his Pride FC debut. It's 4-3, though, so it's still close according to the Blurcat staff picks, but I got a bad feeling. I got a bad feeling, as finally, making his pro debut, Frankie the Answer Edgar, taking on Sam Hands of Stone Stout, as Frankie Edgar is obviously making his pro debut, as Stout is going to have a significant weight advantage. Obviously, Frankie more of a lighter side on the lightweight, in the lightweight division. Sam Stout obviously kind of more of a welterweight, fighting in the lightweight division, as Frank Yeager, 5-2 though on the Blur Cat stat picks, has that advantage even though he's making his pro debut. Another guy, 2 guys actually, so we got 3 guys making their pro debuts, and we got Joe Scarla making his Pride FC debut as Gray the Bully Maynard, taking on Cole Miller as my God, Gray Maynard, Cole Miller, 2, I would say probably some of my favorite lightweights in UFC history. Cole Miller and Gray Maynard, obviously, a lot of those guys kind of in the mid-2000s. Some of them, I would say, wouldn't say a majority. It's kind of tough because I feel like I'm around that time, either if you were from Pride FC or you were on The Ultimate Fighter, it's probably a fan of you. Unless you were someone from the older guard, like, obviously like a Chuck Liddell or fucking Matt Serra. Well, he was on The Ultimate Fighter too. I didn't think of other guys before. I was going to say Carlos Newton. Yeah, I mean, but he also fought in Pride FC. So nonetheless, well, stops the point as, Gray Maynard is a problem. Cole Miller's a problem. They're obviously too young in their careers, making their debuts. It's going to be tough as Maynard has the advantage clearing Blur Cat staff pick 7-0, but this is going to be a tough one to call. Obviously, you really have no idea how these two are going to go against each other, making their debuts. So we're just going to have to wait with bated breath to find it out. As minus 290 for Gray Maynard, plus 230 for Cole Miller. Coconut Creek, Florida, Las Vegas, Nevada. As Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, so obviously it's going to be very mat-based. Gray Maynard is 27 years old, 161, he's 6 foot tall. Cole Miller, 6'1", 155, 23 years old. Should be a hell of a fight. See what happens. Big John McCarthy's the referee. Our ringside judges. It begins. Come together and clinch. Start wrestling. So Maynard manages to aggressively get a good position in the clinch, trying to muscle him up against the ropes. He does so. Now Miller's stuck up against the ropes. There's a sharp stomp to the foot there. So Maynard smothering Miller up against the ropes as Maynard and Miller remain up against the ropes for the next minute, doing little other than the occasional sharp punches. So Miller's controlled up against the ropes and takes a few right hands via some dirty boxing. As Miller's controlled up against the ropes and takes a few right hands via some dirty boxing. Big John McCarthy thinks that there's been little to no progress being made, so they bring him back to the center. Miller shoots him with a takedown. He almost gets it, but not quite though, as Maynard almost got away, as he's just left hopping while Miller has a hold of him. Now he's trying to get him against the ropes. He does so. Now he's looking to go down low, get a trip takedown maybe. Nope, trip doesn't work as Maynard blocks it, turns to the sun. Now Miller's the one up against the ropes. They got double underhooks now. Nothing really happens. It's just pressed up against the ropes. He's just holding him there. As it's a stalemate, halfway point. Again, they have to break him up. What a boring ass fight this was turning into. As Maynard steps in and grapples him, looking to push him against the ropes. He does so. Looking for some dirty boxing now. And now he's just exerting total control there, keeping smothered against the ropes. As both fighters looking to avoid leaving an opening there, as they're just staying there, just grappling on the ropes. Keeps getting pressed as Cole Miller up against the ropes. They remain there. Again, he's stuck there. Some grueling close-up battle of short strikes for roughly a minute. They rig him up for the third time now. There's some few gulps of breath as Maynard's giving a first hint that he's starting to tire a touch. Shoots him for the takedown. Stops the takedown with a great sprawl. Maynard is forced down on his hands and knees there as Miller prepares to throw a knee strike but can't keep control of Maynard, who is able to spring back up. As Maynard steps in and grapples with his opponent. Maynard's trying to push Miller so that his back is against the ropes. Miller out-wrestles him though, as that is the end of round 1. As it seemed like that was all Gray Maynard. As that's a lot of shots. Lord, that is a lot of shots. 77 shots to 35. Can't get a takedown. Both men can't get a takedown. It's a snoozer, that is for sure. Hopefully this final round can have something exciting. But they again have the same idea. They're coming together in clinch. As Gray Maynard is the aggressor in the clinch, trying to push him against the ropes. He does so. He's got him controlled there. Trying to get some dirty boxing, but again, Cole Miller using his wrestling to prevent any damage. We're just kind of really seeing a stalemate between the two. They can't really advance or anything. As he's showing how good he can be at controlling his opponents, as Maynard again keeps Miller stuck against the ropes. The next minute or so, they see each other hitting each other short punches from that position, as Maynard pins Miller up against the ropes and uses some dirty boxing to inflict some damage. There's a sharp right to the ear from Cole Miller, as Maynard tries to use his dirty boxing skills, but Miller again uses the wrestling to prevent any strikes being launched with the fight have been stuck against the ropes for a lengthy period of time now. The referee restarts them back to the center. Maynard is starting to have to push himself down. Now his corner is responding by urging him on a little louder. There's a takedown attempt from Miller. He gets the single leg. Gets taken down by the single leg. As now Cole Miller finally someone gets a takedown. That's the first takedown of the bout. Pounds away with rights but fails anything damaging. As again tries to pull Miller in close and peppering with short strikes, but he can't do it. Can't quite land anything with power though. Cole Miller from this. Now Maynard throwing some punches from the bottom. Miller leans back to avoid him. There's some right hands, but Maynard deals with them comfortably. Again, trying to pull him in close with some short strikes, but can't do it. Keeps trying to pound away with right hands, but doesn't do much damage. So, I mean, good round, but still, I don't think it's going to be enough for Cole Miller. We'll see how the judges feel, yeah. Yeah, I mean, poor fight, but hell of a contest, though, for Gray Maynard, who landed 94 shots. It's a lot. It's a good bit of shots. As Gray Maynard thanks all of his sponsors for backing him, and also thanks all of his family, friends, and supporters. Gray Maynard says that he was delighted to win on his MMA debut, and he feels great going forward. As now, let's see what's in the Frankie the answer. Edgar taking on Sam Hands of Stone Stout, 3-1, 0-0, of course, for Frank Edgar making his fucking debut. Toms River, New Jersey, 5'6", 155, Ontario, Canada, 5'9", 161. So Sam Stout, bigger, stronger, presumably. We'll see what happens, though, because, I mean, he's a kickboxer. Frank Edgar can do, he's a bit of a more well-rounded fella. Can take it to the ground, can stand up and box with you. Obviously, we're getting more and more of the era of guys being able to do more than one thing. Minus 240 for Frankie Edgar. Not even had one pro fight, and he's already got the advantage over Sam Stout. We'll see what happens. Eve Levine's our referee, our judges. Edgar gets a good reaction. As the fans getting a good reaction for the fans. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I had a stroke as he enters the arena. He's fighting in front of a home crowd tonight. So here we go. Touch gloves. They engage in the center. Stout misses the right hook, leaves himself wide open to be countered as he's going for a jab and a right hook that's just ducked, though. So at least Frank Yeager doing a great job on the counter already. Steps in willing to take some shots if that means getting close enough to strike. There's a left jab from Stout, misses the vicious right hand. As Edgar gets a hold of Stout without taking too much damage. There's a nice knee strike to the side of the stomach of Stout. Another knee strike to the body. A third one. A fourth one. Dear God. Is now trying to push him up against the ropes. He can do it, though. Sam Stout defending it well. Looking for it again. He's got it this time. He's got underhooks now. Looking for the takedown. Sweeps the leg. Takes down Stout. As he takes him down hard. Got the back right off of that. It's got both hooks in. Frankie Edgar is going to be a problem. And there's several shots. That's got to be a fight in there. Oh no. He's unable to land many clean shots now. Now he's looking for a rear naked choke. Yep, there it is. There's the ender. Frankie Edgar. Frankie the answer. Edgar, he's the goddamn man. That's awesome. I'm happy he got the win there. Frankie Edgar. Killing it already. Frankie Edgar names, checks all of his sponsors, and thanks all of his fans to turn out to support him. He says he's very happy to have won on his Pride debut. They got to do him and BJ Pitt. I mean, I got to do that. It's got to be done. Now on to the main card. As Joe Scarlo taking on the Ronin. Carlos Newton, 15-10-1, 9-4, East Meadow, New York. So somewhat close to the New Jersey area and Newmarket, Canada. Dragon Ball Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, no team. Renzo Gracie for Joe Scarlo. Both, minus 110, minus 140 is a close one to call. 5'9", 183, 5'8", 180. So he's got 1 inch and 3 pounds on him, does Carlos Newton. Let's see if that slight fucking advantage is going to help him out. Herb Dean's the referee, our judges. Even though he's significantly bigger than... Oh, yeah. Now he's even looking bigger. Wow. He's probably fighting like 190, probably. Maybe even more. I doubt it, though. Here we go. Touch of gloves. Two fighters get up close, start wrestling for position. Joe seems to be the aggressor, looking to muscle up against the ropes. He can't do it, though. Carlos Newton is not going anywhere. Trying to wrestle him down on the ground. He's got it. Wow, what a great takedown. Newton's got a pull guard. Punches down on Newton. They're easily taking on the gloves. Now he's trying to begin to pass guard and get a better position. Newton allows the pass, but it's just a ploy to allow him to try to start a scramble. See Scarlo up first, and he's quick to wrestle Newton up against the ropes. Now looking for another takedown. He's got it again. Joe's going to be a problem in this fucking welterweight division if he can keep this up like this. Unless Carlos Newton is just going on a steep decline. But, I mean, that's a former Pride welterweight champion. He's just throwing down to the mat over and over again, as now he's allowing the pass just deploy to try and scramble again. As this time Newton's up first, only to be grabbed and just wrestled up against the ropes immediately. Looking to go down low, take down both legs. I mean, that's slamming Newton down. Newton gives up his back off the takedown too. He can't get both hooks in. He's trying to move Joe off his back now, as Joe tries to get a body triangle apply, but can't quite manage it though, as Scarlo blocks the attempt to roll him off his back. Prevents Scarlo from applying a body triangle, blocks Newton as he tries to roll him off him. Scarlo tries to get a body triangle applied, but can't quite manage it. Tries to turn over and sweep Scarlo, but he can't do it. As he tries to get both hooks in, but can't quite manage it. Blocks the attempt to roll him off the back now, again. As a referee, he stands him back up. Joe moves in, looking to clinch, trying to muscle Newton up against the ropes. He does so. Takes a hard foot stomp. And again, going down low, looking to grab both legs. He does. I mean, now he's got side control too. I mean, Carlos Newton, you got to do something, but this is bad news for you. Now he's looking for an arm triangle. As Newton fights off the arm triangle. As Joe throws a few right hands, just trying to catch his breath now. Looking for Americana. Newton defends it well. Herb Dean stands him back up again. Second time now. Joe moves in, looking to clinch. As looking to muscle him up against the ropes. He does so. Newton's now pinned. But that's the end of the first round, and that has been all. Joe Scarlo, as my God. Besides those submissions, he did everything perfectly. 4 for 4 on takedowns, pretty much landed a lot of shots. He was doing his ground passes, no problem, until Carlos Newton would allow that to happen to start the scramble, but it's not looking good for Carlos Newton. Final round, they come together and clinch. Joe is the aggressor in the clinch, trying to push him against the ropes. He does so. So now he's looking to go down low again. 5 for 5 on the takedowns. He ends up just holding him down in a turtle up position, but he's got it. He can do nothing now to give up his back as Newton scrambles back to his feet. But Scarla has the back control again, looking to just fucking pick him up and drive him to the mat, and he does so. Wow. I mean, Joe Scarlo is a takedown machine. He's back on that turtle up Carlos Newton. He's got the back now, as now he's trying to drag him back down. He does so. I mean, unreal. Just unreal. A takedown machine. Inside control. Joe Scarlo throws a couple of punches designed to keep him guessing. There's a few right hands to the body looking for Kimura. Newton blocks it. Just fires off a handful of punches, but they aren't throwing any great force. Again, just fires off a few punches. Tries to catch his breath. Herb Dean stands him back up. Now Joe Scarlo. I mean, he's been impressive that he's just now. We're literally 15 minutes in, as we got 50 seconds left of this fight, and he's just now starting to tire just a touch. That's a fucking machine right there. As he steps in, working his way into a down position to clinch. He catches Newton with a knee strike to the body. Now he's going to try and take down low. Oh, finally, Carlos Newton blocked it. It was the 3 seconds left in the fucking fight. You're winning. Your decision, Joe Scarlo. My God. Impressive. Just completely dominating a Pride welterweight champion. As he is now 10-4. Carlos Newton 15-11-1. Tough loss for him, as he has lost 4 straight as Carlos Newton. He's lost to Matt Hughes, obviously, for the belt. He lost to Tetsuchi Kato by armbar. He lost to Pat Miletich, and now Joe Scarlo. It's not looking good for Carlos Newton. He might have to go down the rings for one fight or something to get his confidence back up. It's not looking good. We might have to give him some type of tomato can to crush, something like that, maybe, just to keep his confidence up. Joe Scarlo gives an name check to everyone at Enzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, all of his various sponsors, and all of his friends, family, supporters. Joe Scarlo says that it was a tough fight and gives a show of respect to Carlos Newton. As now the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, squares off against Quentin Rampage Jackson, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Nashville, Tennessee, 30 years old, 6'2", 205, 6'1", 205. As 11-3, 9-4-1, no team. The Pit for Keith Jardine, minus 200 for Rampage Jackson, plus 150 for Keith Jardine. This should be a hell of a fight. Yves Levine's our referee. Our judges. Jackson looks significantly bigger than Jardine, even though they weighed in the same yesterday. So he's probably up to 225, probably, maybe a little bit more, maybe 215. So we are underway. As there's no touch of gloves to start, as there's an audible reaction from the crowd from that. Exchange of strikes sees both fighters fail to land anything significant. They come together and strike. As Jackson misses the right hook and leaves up wide, on to be countered with a left jab and a low kick that just can't connect. exchange a few strikes, but nothing significant lands. They engage. Jardine counters the right hand with a kick to the leg. Rolls his shoulders to relieve a little bit of the tension that's been built up, then moves forward. They meet in the center as Jardine slips past the right hook attempt and attacks with a jab and a right cross that just misses. So it looks like Jardine is on the counter of a lot of shots. That's a great sign for him. As Rampage Jackson really can't. Oh, he can't make. Jardine is off target with a jab and also can't make contact on his right head kick. As Jackson can't get past the good guard of Jardine, as two punches were simply absorbed. Nothing really happens down the center. They come forward and engage. As Jackson misses the right cross, leaves himself wide open to be countered with a left kick to the ribs by Jardine. As again he misses the right cross, and there's a right cross from Jardine. As exchange of strikes sees both fighters fail to land anything significant, as both fighters move and engage. As he slips past the right hook, attacks with a couple of jabs that are followed, and there's a right hand that narrowly escapes. So there you go. There's Quentin Rampage Jackson slipping past something. Come together and strike. Jardine slips past the right hook and counters with a jab and a good right hook of his own. Moving and engage. There's a pair of left jabs, and also it's a spin kick from Jardine. There's a good right hand from Jackson as the fighters go toe-to-toe with strikes, but neither lands anything significant in exchange. Both fighters step in to strike. Misses the big right hand, putting him off balance, allowing Jardine to attack with a left cross. Both fighters move and engage. They land, but both fighters strike, but nothing lands, as there's a right hand taking on the gloves from Jardine. Jackson can't find the mark on his right hook. Two combatants meet in the center and start to strike as they slips past the right hook and attacks with a great right hook of his own. Two fighters come together and strike, but it's really tentative. Nothing comes of it. They meet in the center again. Jackson misses the right hook, leaves himself wide open to be countered with a spin kick to the body. Jardine's now starting to slow down the touch, perhaps conserving a little bit of energy to make it into that second round. They meet in the center. Jardine misses the right hook and gets countered with a powerful straight right that lands cleanly there, and he's knocked out cold. Quentin Rampage Jackson knocks him out with a solid right hand. Great fight there. They were both striking. They were both, countering, slipping past stuff. That was a good little fight. Rampage Jackson gets the win, 10-4-1. 11-4 will be Jardine, who's now lost 3 straight. That's a great win, though, for Rampage Jackson. They snapped out of those losing streaks of his, as Quentin Rampage Jackson thanks his sponsors, all of his fans. He's asked who he'd like to face next, and he replies that he wants Rich Franklin. Anytime, any place, and he's going to embarrass him. Wow. As that is some strong words from Rampage Jackson. As Allen goes, takes on Frank Shamrock next, 11-6-3, 28-13-2, 35 years old, 33 years old, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, San Jose, California, 6'2", 205. It's kind of weird. Going to this, I just figured Allen Goes was going to be shorter than Frank Shamrock, but Frank Shamrock is just 5'10", at 205, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, submission fighting, kickboxing, Lions and Brazilian tap team. Minus 400 for Frank Shamrock, plus 310 for Allen Goes. As refereeing this bout, Herb Dean. Our judges, fight begins. Exchange strikes happens right in the center of the ring, but nothing comes of it. They stand and trade strikes, but again, neither can land a significant blow. Again, they can't land anything. Coming together in a clinch. Shamrock wrestles his way into a dominant position in the clinch. Now he's trying to push him against the ropes. He does so. Now he's looking to go down low, grabbing both legs. He's got it. Inside control 2. There's a few strikes that outvet him. Tries to transition the guard, but he can't manage it. And there's a couple of punches as he's trying to just catch his breath now. There's a blocking attempt to pull guard. Throws a few weak-looking punches. Decides on his next move. Goes, tries to move the guard, but Frank Shamrock does not allow it. There's a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. Goes, tries to pull on Shamrock, but nothing, doesn't go anywhere with it, though. Shamrock fires off a few punches as he catches his breath. Goes, tries to transition the guard, but can't manage it, as no progress being made. Brings the fighters back to their feet. Goes, steps in, grapples with his opponent. Goes, tries to suck Shamrock to the ground by wrapping his legs around the waist and pulling guard, as it's a violent counter. Shamrock responds by just driving him into the mat with a vicious slam, as Goes makes Shamrock step back by throwing a vicious up kick, as Shamrock looking to get on top of Goes. Tries to get around it, but eventually has to settle for just being in guard. There's a few right hands to the body. Looking to get to side control now. He's passes the side control, but doesn't have enough time to secure it as Allen Goes starts to scramble. Scramble sees Shamrock up first. Comes in quick to wrestle Goes up against the ropes. He's got him up against the ropes, looking to drop down low, grab his legs. He does so, and he's got his back, or Allen Goes is on his back, rather, pulling guard. Throws a few right hands, just trying to catch his breath again to Shamrock. Shamrock just in complete control, blocks. Goes, he's trying to scramble, punches down, but they're blocked. As he attempts to pass half guard, He passes it, but he can't secure it as again Allen goes scrambling for position as goes. Manages to come out on top as with Shamrock now pulling guard. Let's see what he can do with a minute left in this first round. There's some minor strikes. Gets pulled in tight. Takes a couple of short, sharp punches to the side of the face. As aware of a submission, Goes keeps it very tight to Shamrock, preparing him with short strikes. As again he gets pulled in tight, stopping him from posturing up or launching any attacks. And that is great stuff from Frank Shamrock. Obviously winning this round and winning the fight so far. We'll see what happens here in the second. Moving around, Allen Goes is looking for an opening to grapple with without getting hit. Shamrock lands a left hand, then there's a nice straight right hand. Just look there over to see Goes try to get some grappling started, but again, Shamrock more aggressive, took the initiative. It's a jab lands from Shamrock, but Goes dodges the leg kick that follows, setting it up with excellent timing. Shamrock comes forward and shoots for the takedown. He can't get past the sprawl of Goes, gets pushed down on his hands and knees there, as Goes tries to pound on Shamrock, but none of the blows have any degree of power. Taking advantage of a pause, Shamrock stands back up, as Shamrock hits a left jab and scores the right roundhouse kick to the ribs. There's a left jab and Goes evades the big right punch as he looked like he was trying to get some grappling started, but as the threat of getting hit is keeping him from rushing in now. As there is a jab and he catches Goes as a superb right head kick and he knocks him out with the right head kick. Frank Shamrock in the second round with a head kick knockout. Great stuff there from Frank Shamrock as he gives thanks, praising his team at Lions Den. Is very responsive to all the fans who came to support him. As in the interview asked who he'd be interested in fighting next, he replies that Merlio, who it would be a tough challenge, would be one they'd be interested. Yeah, that'd be a awesome fight. We could definitely set that up. As Bam Healy, Pat Bam Healy, taking on Joe Hurley, 6 foot 161, 5'8", 161, St. Louis, Missouri, Walnut Creek, California, 15-1, 15-4-1. One of these two men will have 16 wins. Well, I guess I can't guarantee that. There could be a draw. That's what I get for trying to guarantee that. Wrestling, shoot fighting for Joe Hurley. What a style. It's a shoot. As Lions Den, no team, minus 310, plus 240. Pat Healy's going to be a problem. He's 22 years old and he's 15-1. Like, what else can he do? Referee Herb Dean, our judges, we are on the way. They touch gloves. Looks like we're about to see Healy try and get some grappling started, but Hurley was more aggressive, took the initiative. So there's a right hand that catches, there's a left hand that catches Healy with a right hook. So Joe Hurley already doing some great stand-up stuff. As Healy may have been setting up to shoot, but Hurley aggressively took the initiative. Jab is wide, then he catches Healy with a right hook. As Healy shoots in on Hurley, as he does a great job. What a great sprawl. Steps away safely from that. There's a can't hit the step left jab that hits Healy with a right to the side of the ribs. Exchange of blows comes and goes without either fighter really landing anything significant. Healy shoots in for the takedown again. Great sprawl. Joe Hurley doing a tremendous job 2 minutes in. Feel like he's really dominating this fight already. His jab is wide from Hurley. Hits Healy with a leg kick. It looked like he was angling for a grapple, but couldn't take the initiative. Hurley can't connect with the step strike. There's a nice straight right hand, though. And there's a gash underneath the eye of Paul Healy. That is not good. Joe Hurley fucking him up early. Pat Healy is warily circling, looking for his opening as he's trying to initiate some grappling. Jab lands from Hurley. Healy evades the big right punch. They stand and trade blows. Neither can land anything damaging, though. A jab is wide. Hits a nice straight right hand, though. Steps forward and strike exchange begins. Hurley hits a jab in the exchange. He can't connect with a step jab. There's a nice straight right hand, though, as both fighters meet in the center. As Healy misses the right hook and gets countered with a left jab and a body kick that just misses. Halfway point in the first round. As they come together and strike. Healy misses the left jab and the right hand. As Healy hits a jab but has the right hand taken on the gloves. Neither can land anything, land a good shot there in the middle. Right in the center of the ring, as Healy now having to pause the fight, as with Healy bleeding. Referee pauses so they can check on the cut. It's not a fight ender. It's only minor, so we're back underway. As Hurley can't connect with a set up left jab and hits Healy with a body kick. There's a weak tentative jab from Pat Healy as a jab hits home. Then he lands the right hand. Hurley lands a jab and there's a nice straight right hand. Exchange of strikes, but nothing significant lands. Healy may have been aiming to set up to shoot, but Hurley aggressively took the initiative. There's a jab and a right cross from Joe Hurley, and again he reopens that cut. As Joe Hurley's a problem right now. Oh my god. Hurley stalks forward, pressuring Healy. As Hurley avoids the jab, is able to step right back into that pocket. Can't connect the jab, but hits a nice straight right hand though. Can't connect the setup left jab, there's a right cross. As he's still moving well, but he's breathing a little deeper now after just fucking up Pat Healy this whole time. There's a flurry of activity, but neither fighter is able to land a telling strike. Can't connect with the left jab, can't connect with the right cross. Now Joe Hurley He's not been able to set up anything or land anything. As Healy throws 2 punches as they set up and then unleashes a slithering low kick, but Hurley saw that coming from a mile away and avoids that. As the 2 fighters engage, he slips past the right hook, counters with a left jab and a right hook that's just ducked. Both fighters warily step in to strike, as they can't find the mark on their right hooks. As, again, the referee has to pause the fight, as it doesn't seem to be much of a problem. Again, as we restart it with a minute left, basically, as Hurley took the initiative first there. There's a punch, but Healy was equal to it. A 1-2, but again, Healy was equal to that. Seizing that opportunity, Pat Healy trying to clinch. He does so, got him up against the ropes. Got him stuck there. And right when Pat Healy was starting to get cooking, end of the first round, Joe Hurley, tremendous job. But it's not over. Pat Healy could have a very, very dominant, decisive second round, rather, and end up winning the fight. It's not over. Definitely not. Even though the cut's going to be big, it's not over. As Hurley can't connect with the setup strikes. There's a roundhouse kick to the body, though. There's a left hand and a right hand. As 2 jabs and then a straight right that lands hard. Can't connect with the jab. There's another straight right. There's a 1-2, but Healy avoids both of them. Healy moves in fast, clinching with Hurley. Healy's trying to push Hurley up so that his back is against the ropes. He manages it and controls it as Hurley ends up backed against the ropes. Healy smothering Hurley up against the ropes and then scores the left to the side of the stomach. Tries to use some dirty boxing, but Hurley using his wrestling to nullify any potential damage. Halfway point in the second round. Healy goes to use some dirty boxing, but Hurley is aware of the danger and uses the wrestling to prevent any damage there. So Joe Hurley is controlled up against the ropes and takes a few right hands via some dirty boxing. So Pat's now in control as he's trying to use some dirty boxing, but Hurley using the wrestling to nullify any potential damage. As Healy smothering him, there's a left to the side of the stomach now. Referee Herb Dean breaks him up, putting him back in the center. Hurley appears to be feeling a little fatigued for the first time in this fight. His hands starting to lower just a fraction now. They come together and strike. Hurley misses the left jab, also can't connect with the kick to the body. As he deals with 2 punches without issue, his guard remains solid as Joe Hurley. There's a takedown attempt from Pat Healy. As Healy gets a hold of a leg but cannot take him down. He remains standing. This Joe Hurley trying to push him up against the ropes now. He's now got some dirty boxing, but Hurley, again, using the wrestling to nullify any potential damage. As Healy hits Hurley, who's pressed up against the ropes with a nice short uppercut. Man, imagine that would have ended the fight with that uppercut. But that is the end of your fight right there, going the distance. Joe Hurley, I think, is going to be a unanimous decision winner. Yep. Hell of a upset. Hell of a win. That is a dangerous man, is Joe Hurley. As now Pat Healy is 15-2. As his one loss came against Gleison Tebow, which is now wild, as obviously Gleison Tebow was a big part of the lightweight Grand Prix. Joe Hurley, 16-4-1, as the one draw was against Tatsuya Kawajiri. That was at UFC 69. He lost to Tatsuya Kawajiri, and he's lost to Dean Thomas. He's lost to Jordan Damon. Just wild. Wild. But here he is, getting a big win over Pat Healy. As Joe Hurley thanks all of his sponsors, all of his fans. He is asked who he'd like to fight next. He answers that he thinks the fight against Josh Thompson would probably be a great contest. His words. Co-main event, Nate the Great Marcotte taking on Dan Endo Henderson. In the prime middleweight division, 16-5, 15-5, very similar records. Denver, Colorado. Apple Valley, California, 27, 35, 6'1", 205, 6'205. Greco-Roman wrestling mixed martial artist is Nate Marcotte, AMC Penguin, Team Quest, minus 400 for Dan Henderson, plus 300 for Nate Marcotte. Herb Dean's our referee, our judges. Here we go. Start with a touch of gloves. Marcotte closes the distance, obviously looking to strike. Can't connect with the setup strikes, then lands the right hand. Both fighters come together and strike. There's a flurry of activity, but neither fighter is able to land a telling strike there as Marcotte throws a right head kick. Doesn't make contact, though. Henderson throws 2 quick punches, but Marcotte has some great movement, avoids them all. As Henderson shoots in on the high speed for the takedown. The takedown's complete. It's a single leg, and Marcotte is left on his back, pulling guard. As Henderson fires away with punches, does little in the way of damage. Blocks an attempted sweep. Throws a few strikes, but it's clear just slowing down so he can think. In guard, Henderson is content just to throw a couple of punches to the body there. Henderson fires away with punches, but does little in the way of damage. Marcotte tries to sweep Henderson, but he can't do it. Henderson throws some few strikes, but it's clear just slowing things down so he can think. Henderson pounds away with right hands, but doesn't do much damage as Henderson gets punched gets pushed back and is left standing in front of Marcotte and no longer in guard. Henderson steps back and allows Marcotte to stand up. As they clinch up and start jacking for position, Marcotte manages to get control of the clinch as Marcotte hits Henderson with a big knee strike to the body. He's trying to push Henderson so his back is against the ropes. He ends up with his back to the ropes. Marcotte keeps Henderson up against the ropes with wrestling, then uses a hard foot stomp. Marcotte tries to take Henderson down. Henderson stops the takedown attempt, then using his wrestling to take control of the grapple and puts Marcotte against the ropes. Henderson now is looking to get an underhook, looking to take him down. He's got the takedown using the underhooks, and he's got a side control of it too. So that's a great job by Dan Henderson. Pounds away with rights, but Marcotte covers up and only a couple manage to get through. Trying to transition to the guard, he can't manage it. Henderson pounds away on Marcotte, landing a few clean shots, but not many. Tries to pull guard on Henderson, doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. Tries to pound on Marcotte, but again, all the blows are commonly dealt with. Blocks Marcotte, fires off a few punches, but they aren't with any great force. As there's a few shots that land clean from Henderson. It seems like there's a combination of sometimes it doesn't land, sometimes he's just trying to block, but there's a couple times the shots get through, though, so that's good on them, as there's a comfortable... As now Marcotte comfortably deals with those shots, trying to transition to guard, but he can't manage it. There's some more strikes now, as now Marcotte isn't getting in trouble by the strikes. Isn't in trouble by the strikes, blocks the attempt to pull guard, pounds away, but Marcotte isn't in trouble by the strikes, blocks the attempt to pull guard. Finally, the referee stands back up with 12 seconds left, but that's the end of the first round. Obviously, all Dan Henderson, as he landed 70 shots. That is a lot. That is going to be a lot for Nate Marcotte to recover from. He's just going to have to knock him out at this point. As you hear some boos from the audience. They weren't impressed with that round at all. Last round, round 2 begins. Marcotte comes forward. There's a counter jab, but misses from Henderson. A 1-2 from Marcotte fails to land. Looked there about to see Marcotte step in and grapple, but Henderson took the initiative. There's a punch, but Marcotte was equal to it. Moving in fast, Marcotte wrestles his way to down position, trying to muscle Henderson up against the ropes. He does so, now he's got him pinned. Now Marcotte's looking to try to take him down, but again, Henderson defends it well. As again looking for the trip, and again it gets blocked, and now he turns him around, so now Marcotte has his back up against the ropes. He's got the underhooks again looking for the slam. Marcotte stops that takedown, and now he's got control of the grapple. As he's trying to take him down, someone gets a takedown. Marcotte's got side control of it, as it's the second half of the second round now. Inside control, Marcotte throws a couple of punches designed to keep him guessing. As Henderson tries to pull guard on Marcotte, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. Looking for a Kimura. Henderson stops it. Tries to move to guard, but Marcotte doesn't allow it. There's a knee strike to the ribs. Minute left. Looking for a knee bar. Oh my god. Imagine that was it. As Henderson defends himself well. Tries to pull guard on Marcotte. Doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. Tries to pound on Henderson, but again, none of the blows with any degree of power. That is the end of your fight right there. I'd say Dan Henderson won that one. We'll see. Well, we got a split. Marcotte, Henderson, Marcotte. Oh my god. As Nate the Great Marcotte wins by split decision. I don't understand it. Wow. I mean, that... Sure. Dominant second round from Nate Marcotte. I gotta give him that. Dominant second round. They were fighting for position for about the 3 minutes of that second round. But I say you gotta scope that entire fight. And I don't think Marcotte did enough. Dan Henderson getting screwed by the judges. I think it's because I was like, he hasn't lost yet at the American Bushido card. Here he does lose American Bushido 11 in the co-main to a split decision. 17-5 is Nate Marcotte. 15-6 is Dan Henderson. Unbelievable. Another upset there. Plus 300. Someone probably made bank as giving thanks Nate Marcotte praises his team at AMC Pankrington. He's very responsive to the fans who came out supporting him. He is then asked who he'd like to face next. He answers that he still wants to face Vitor Belfort and hopes that fight can be put together soon. Yeah, probably. Probably could happen. I don't see why not. It's probably one of the biggest main events we've ever had in Pride FC. Here we go. Chuck the Iceman Liddell taking on Antonio Minotaur, Rodrigo Noguera. Both these men took this fight on short notice. And I realized that I really didn't have a perfect main event for this American Bushido card. And this was the perfect main event right here. Both men were ready to fight. They took the quick camp. We'll see what happens. 6'2", 225 is Chuck Liddell weighing in. 6'3", 235 is Big Nog weighing in. San Luis, California. Vitória de Conquista, Brazil. I tried. Gave it a shot. 18-5, 20-2. Hawaiian Kimbo, Jiu-Jitsu Boxing, The Pit. No team for the fucking Pride Heavyweight Champion of the world. I don't understand it. It's minus 150, plus 150, so Big Nog has the betting line. You saw that Blurcat Stat Picks did have a slight advantage to Chuck Liddell. This is going to be an amazing fight. Fingers crossed. As Pride Heavyweight title, of course, on the line. Herb Dean's our referee, our ringside judges. Hopefully nobody gets fucked out of this. So here we go. They touch gloves. As Noguera steps in, watched all the way by Liddell. Lands the left jab, but misses the big right hand. As again, Liddell's ready for the counter. As there's a left hook from Noguera. Two fighters stand and trade strikes, but neither can land anything damaging. Noguera again stepping in. As Liddell lets two punches sail past his head movement, proving far too good for Noguera. As he tries the right hand, but gets absorbed on the gloves. Noguera again moving in. There's a leg kick. As again, Noguera steps in. Soft target with a jab, but scores to the right cross. Liddell again comes in with a counter. Throws 3 quick punches. Lands one of them, then only finds the gloves with the right hand. As they stand and trade, but all the shots are either off target or safely dealt with. Nothing really comes of that. As stepping in now, Noguera again looking to... As Noguera can't get past the superb guard of Liddell, as 2 punches were simply absorbed. There's a body kick, but it's parried away. Noguera comes in. There's a brief exchange of fire, but neither fighter lands anything, as Noguera throws some punches and a head kick, but Liddell bobs, weaves, and ultimately avoids all the damage, taking any damage at all. As there's a right hand that, as Noguera slips past that, as Noguera says, fuck you, Liddell, I could also slip past shots. Comes in looking to strike, misses the right cross, leaves himself wide open for a leg kick from Liddell. Shoulders hunched, Liddell studies the opponent, looking for an opportunity there as they exchange some strikes. Neither can land anything damaging there. As halfway point, 2 fighters stand and trade strikes, but neither can land a significant blow. As Liddell forces exchange of strikes, there's a counter jab and misses. Liddell throws a 2-punch combo, but Noguera avoids both of them. Noguera moves in. There's a left jab, can't connect with the kick to the body. As Liddell now pressuring Noguera. Let's see what he can do on the offense. There's a jab. Looks like a definitive jab as Liddell throws a 2-punch combo, but Noguera avoids both of them. The exchange of strikes at relatively close range, but nothing really lands. Exchange of strikes does not produce any damage. Now Liddell back on the counter as a quick exchange of strikes, but nothing managed to land anything significant. As Liddell shows his good kick defense by easily checking the hard low kick. His kick hit a right cross thanks to Noguera bobbing and weaving. These 2 men are some of the best in the world, and you're seeing it there as they not able to land a lot of shots on it. You know, this would take down a lot of men. They're just slipping past and bobbing and weaving out of the way. As Liddell's starting to slow down a touch now, looking to conserve maybe a bit of energy. As Liddell fails to land anything significant on a strike combo that ended with an attempted head kick. Stepping in, Noguera looking to engage. They both fighters throw, but neither can land a shot. As Liddell again showing good kick defense, easily checking the hard low kick. He's trying to slip as he tries the straight right, but Noguera slips past it. As he stands ready, as Noguera moves in, there's a jab, but it fails on the leg kick. As Liddell moving forward, constantly trying to pressure Noguera into exchange strikes. There's a jab, but he misses. There's a 1-2, but doesn't land either blow. There's a minute left now. Noguera comes in. There's a jab, also lands a leg kick. Does Liddell. So Noguera scores the jab and also hits a crunching kick to the thigh. That thigh kick, that is tough. There's no question Liddell's getting badly struck so far in this fight. That said, though, he will be aware that he only needs to land 1 clean shot, and that can end the fight instantly. As they stand and trade blows, but neither can land anything damaging. As Noguera steps in to strike, he misses the right cross, leaves himself open to be countered. Liddell comes in with the right hand. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. As that is the end of the first round. You're seeing it there. You know, they said it in the fucking commentary. Noguera's outstriking him. Noguera's doing a tremendous job. It's still not over, though. As you see there, it's only 4-10 on strikes. It's not the end of the world, not by a long shot. It's going to take the second round. So let's see what happens. As Liddell is now limping slightly, thanks to that thigh kick, I'm sure. As Liddell comes forward and the 2 fighters engage, there's a jab, but misses. 1-2, but again doesn't hit either of them. As limping slightly, again, he's definitely starting to feel the damage of those leg kicks. There's a quick punch from Liddell, but doesn't land it. There's a 1-2, but doesn't land that either. As with a clear opportunity, Noguera is able to move in fast clinch with Liddell, trying to push him against the ropes. He does so. Looking for a leg sweep. He's got it. I mean, that's it. Big Nog's got it. He's in his fucking domain now. As Noguera pounds with right, so it doesn't do much damage. Attempts to pass half guard. Struggles, but he cannot find a way to pass and just remains stuck in half guard. Throws a few strikes. Just clears, just slowing things down so he can catch his breath. And at this point, you just gotta lay and pray and you'll win. Can't find a way to get past the half guard again. Herb Dean's gonna stand him back up with 49 seconds left. Liddell is definitely slowing down. The gas tank's being challenged. Taking a few gulps of breath. Noguera starting to tire out now. Just the first hint of it, though. So Liddell, let's see if he can do something here. Steps in, looking to strike. There's a jab. He can't connect with a right head kick, as Liddell doesn't connect with a brace of jabs, but hits the right hand. Seeing that Liddell is looking shattered, Noguera easily pulls him into a clinch. There's some dirty boxing. Trying to push Liddell so his backup is against the ropes. It is now against the ropes. That's the end of the fight, though. As your winner, unanimous decision, Big fucking Nog. He did it. Again. The 9th time. He makes his defense. It was a poor fight, though. I would love to kind of see this fight maybe again down the road if there's not a quick camp for both of them, but hell of a fight, though. I mean, it was awesome. It's the build-up to it. Chuck Liddell, Big Nog. I mean, that's a big-time main event anywhere. As Big Nog, name checks all of his sponsors and thanks all of his fans trying to support him. Pride Heavyweight title strapped around his waist. Yet again, celebrating his championship, having retained his belt. Just one notch below high critical rating. Just one notch. Looking like it was going to be a good little card. The split decision was nuts that Nate Marcotte won that. Would have been nice maybe if it wasn't a poor main event, but I still was enthralled by how Big Nog, even taking on a guy like Chuck Liddell, it just wasn't a match for him. As, honestly, I'm going to make the fight of the night be Quentin Rampage Jackson, Keith Jardine. I think that deserved the fight of the night. For me, as I just felt like the Allen Goes Frank Shamrock was a little bit one-sided, where at least they were back and forth. So that will do it for this episode of the American Bushido 11 card. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all enjoyed the episode and have still been enjoying this series. As, man, oh man. Now we're back to the Heavyweight Grand Prix. And they're not going to be taking on Chuck Liddell. Oh no, they are still going to be taking on whoever wins that thing. Will be taking on Big Nog. Will be another victim, or will they be the one? Will they be the one to beat him? That'll be Critical Countdown Absolute. As, my God, you see, well, look at the card. As, Micro Crocop Pete Williams, main event. That's a big-ass main event. Pedro Hizzo, Sergey Koretneroff, Rico Rodriguez, Heath Herring, Alistair Overeem, Gilbert Yvel, Josh Barnett, Hideki Yoshida, Don Fry, Alexei Olenek, Naoya Ogawa, Valentin Overeem, and Oleg Takratov, and Kazuki Fujita. As, yeah, Pete Williams, Micro Crocop. Those are some two bad motherfuckers. You got Heath Herring in there as a wrestler, Alistair Overeem, the Demolition Man, Sergey Koretneroff, the man who beat Fedor, Josh Barnett, a former UFC heavyweight champion, in real life, and I think in this mod. I think he was. No, he wasn't. He lost to Kevin Randall. Never mind. So he still hasn't been a UFC heavyweight champion in this mod. So, let's see, maybe he'll be the one. Maybe. As far as who hasn't faced, Big Nog, Mirko hasn't, Sergey hasn't, Alistair Overeem hasn't, Josh Barnett has, he lost, Pedro Rizzo, I think, has faced him and lost, so maybe he hasn't, never mind, he hasn't, but still, and we got Simi Chalette, too, the high tower Simi Chalette, maybe he'll be the one. It's a lot of different scenarios there, as well. We'll catch you guys next time for Pride FC Critical Countdown Absolute. Take care, everyone.